Welcome, everybody. Warmly welcome to the Life Hacks and Fun Facts out of the audience series. My name is Anett Árvay. I'm an intercultural linguist. I'm the head of the Hungarian Studies Department, and are international students from all over the world here in Hungarian language and culture. And warmly welcome to our guest for today, SZTE from China and Hatem from Syria. We will talk about life in Szeged, about being an international student in Szeged, challenges, and hopefully you will take some pieces of good advice home with you. The conversation will be approximately 45 minutes, and then in the end, we'll have the chance to ask questions from our guests or from anybody for all of us. Yes, so let's get started. So first of all, I'd like to ask you to tell us and share with us, why did you come to Szeged and why did you pick this university? So, Suki, I know that you use a Hungarian name, Laura. So
Yes.
may I call you Laura?
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay. So this isn't the first time that I moved to Hungary. I used to study in Utrecht University for an exchange student in 2021. And then after a year of study, I think Hungary is a very good place to stay, to study, and I think I can continue my master in Hungary. So that's why I come here. And as for why I come to Szeged, because when I applied for the master last year, and University of Szeged was the only one that has the major I wanted to study. So that's why I'm here.
Thank you. So,
Thank you.
First of all, thank you so much, guys, for your attendance, and thank you for having me as well. My name is Muhammad Hatem Ghanoum in Arabic, and I'm from Aleppo, Syria. I won the Stipendium Hungaricum scholarship, which is the Hungarian government scholarship, exactly last year, and my airplane landed on the airport of Budapest on the 16th of September 2024. So just after a few days, I'll be here for 1 year. I have a bachelor's degree in English language and literature from the University of Aleppo back in my country. And I came here to pursue a master's degree in international relations. Before I arrived in Hungary, I was a humanitarian worker. I volunteered for the Syrian Arab Red Crescent for almost 2 years, and I had the honor of cooperating with some NGOs, just like the ICRC, the IFRC, and many more. And this experience as a volunteer inspired me to pursue a job in the same field. That's why I am pursuing a master's degree in international relations. And that's it. Thank you so much.
So let's start just about your arrival. So what were the first challenges when you arrived? I know that you already came to Budapest.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And then what about Szeged?
When I arrived in Szeged on the first day, I met a challenge about my life because on the first day, my landlord was busy and couldn't come to the house on that day. So I don't know how to use the machines properly in the house. So, for example, I arrived in March, and I took a cold shower on the first day when the average temperature was like 0 Celsius. It was really hard, and the food I bought went bad because I didn't set the fridge. So yeah,
Practical difficulties.
Yes.
How long did it take you to arrive from China to Budapest?
Oh, quite a long time. Yeah, it's like I fly from Xiamen, my homeland, and I fly for 3 hours to Beijing, and then I took like 9 or 10 hours plane and to Budapest, and then I took the taxi here for like 2 hours. So it's like almost a full day. Yeah.
Okay. Has anyone or did anyone wait for you?
Yes, my friend. She is also the master student here in Szeged, University of Szeged, and she waited for me on the first day when I came here.
Oh, that's a wonderful thing. So, you guys, if you have anybody you know from Hungary, or not even necessarily Hungarian, of course, anybody who's been a student here before, then that's very useful. The other thing is, or the other possibility is, if you have a mentor student, some of the faculties have already organized some kind of mentor program and body program. So those Hungarian students or other international students are assigned to a certain other students who can wait for you at the radio station, because after the long trip, it's sometimes super exhausting and exciting to find a place where you finally can download everybody's right. So what about your story?
Well, the journey started from my city, which is Aleppo. It's a city in the northern part of Syria. And from Aleppo to Damascus, 4 hours. From Damascus to Amman, Jordan, 6 hours, because of there are a lot of checkpoints for both sides in Syria and Jordan, and they were just checking our documents and the other stuff. And 4 hours from Amman, Jordan to Budapest, from the airport to Budapest. And from Budapest, I booked a trip with a company. I forgot the name. It was a trip from Budapest airport to the dorm that I stayed at. Well, at the beginning, I had a lot of challenges, to be honest, because getting this scholarship was a milestone for me, because I spent 25 years in only one country, which is my country, and I have never traveled outside of Syria during the past 25 years. So it was like a trip from the east to the west, from a conflict-affected country, sadly, to a country which is part of the EU. And let's say it was a very strange movement for me. I think it was like the first moment airplane landed on the ground, my life started to change 180%. Well, I will mention a few challenges that I faced. For example, I stayed at the dorm. I'm an only child, and I had my own room, and I had my own desk and my computer, and everything was mine. So I was like controlling everything in the house. And so then I started to live in the dorm with 5 guys from different countries. We had one guy from Jordan, one guy from Georgia, one guy from Uzbekistan, one guy is from Nicaragua, a country that I have never heard about in the past, and a guy from Syria. So I met a guy from Syria who got the scholarship just like me on a group on Facebook, and we agreed to stay with each other because I thought that it's better to stay with someone with the same culture or from the same country. And we were lucky that the administration of the dorm said yes. So when I saw him, I was happy because, and we agreed on a few things, that we should do those things, we shouldn't do those things. And I was happy, to be honest, in the dorm, because I had the opportunity to meet people from different parts of the world. For example, I have never met people from even the Arab world countries. I started to meet people and I started to hear about countries I have never heard about. And I started to learn about those cultures and flags and their food and their customs as well. Well, the challenges are, for example, I missed my family. I didn't think that I will miss my family, to be honest, because I thought that I am a man and I will not miss my family, and I will go and I will meet nice people, and I will call my family every 2 or 3 days, and that's it. But no, it wasn't that easy, to be honest.
When did you start feeling this kind of?
Well, exactly during the first few weeks. The first day when you leave the house of your parents, your life will never be the same, to be honest. So in my culture, young people don't leave their parents unless they get married or they travel. So when I left my family, and I felt sad, to be honest, because I was the only male, and I have only one sister, and my father, he was happy that I got a scholarship, but at the same time, he didn't want me to leave him. So when I said goodbye to them, when I arrived in Jordan, I felt that I'm guilty because I did something bad for them and I left them. So yes, I suffered from this feeling for a few weeks, to be honest. But then when I started talking to them and they said, we wish you all the best. It's very difficult for us to leave us, but anyway, you're looking for a better future. So I think those are the challenges. Maybe getting used to the everyday life. For example, in Syria, we don't pay online, or we don't have Visa card. We only have cash. Here, everything you don't have to put cash with you, because you can pay with your card or with your mobile phone. So the technology here was a little bit challenging for me because I'm not used to it. This is just an example. Another thing, and it's okay to laugh at me, which is the cultural differences between the East and West. People in the East are very energetic and extrovert. For example, if I see my friend on the street, maybe we would stop and speak for half an hour. Hi, how's it going? How's your mom? How's your father? How's your brother? What are you doing tonight? What would you do in the future? What did you have for breakfast? We just asked those questions. But when I arrived here, I started to meet some Hungarian people and other foreign students. And when I see them on the street, one day I came across a guy I know, and I started saying, hi, how's it going? He was like this. He reacted like this. What?
Do you remember where he was from?
Hungary.
Hungary.
So
can we just pause for a second, because you touched upon a very important cultural difference. You used the word people back at home are very energetic, and even can you say extrovert?
yes, I mean, you can stop someone on the street and ask him.
Anyone, even people you don't know?
Yes, you can stop someone on the street and ask him, where did you get this pants from? Where did you get this t-shirt from? And they would answer. They wouldn't think that you are a strange guy.
Is it common among males at your age, or
No, it's common. It's common between everyone, but I think it's not common if you ask a lady. It's rude if you ask a lady, but if you ask, yes,
start chatting.
Yes, you can start. Yes, yeah, sure, no problem. And if they discover that you are a foreigner or a visitor, they would feel happy to help you. Yes.
This is very, very important and very interesting. And then we come from three totally different cultures. That's when we started to prepare this interview, that we were careful about choosing people who are coming from very different cultural background and cultural context, because you may recognize that cultural differences is all around, and that's what multicultural environment is. But you have here in Szeged, as an international student. So how can you react to this? So would it ever happen that you can just talk to someone in the street who you don't know in China and just start chatting with them? Is it common?
Yes, it's common. Yes, for example, when you see someone on the street, for example, a girl is wearing stylish or something, you can just stop her and say, "Whoa, where did you buy the clothes? Can I get a new one? Can I get a same one or something?" Yeah, we will.
Really? Okay. Yeah. So if you heard my Indonesian and I said really, it was probably a sign of surprise, because it's a cultural difference. So when you say the wow or oh, it means that you touched upon a cultural difference. That's not really common here in Europe.
Yes.
People are more kind of isolated, and it's not that easy to talk to someone who you don't know. Of course, there are certain contexts, like if you are in a university club or in your classroom or in the dorm, that's different, because it means that you somehow form a community, and then you can talk to them. It's almost like you can become friends. But we would never go up to someone and say, "Oh, that's nice, be so close. Oh, where would you like? Or don't you want to chat a little? What about, let's say, the weather?" So we are not that talkative. Even in Hungarian, we don't have the notion of small talk. So we are not chatting for fun. So we take very often take conversation seriously. So if you learn Hungarian and they ask you, how are you doing? How are you? Like, hogy vagy? Some people start talking about their private life and what happened to their family. So we take it seriously. This is a change now. So the your generation is just started to use small talk and it's just be more chatty. But elderly people are a little bit more reserved, I would say. But once you form a closer relationship with someone, let's say a friend's family invites you over, then they open up. So Hungarians will be very hearted, and they can chat about everything. Of course, there are some taboo topics to talk about. So Hungarians don't like to talk about, like, say, money or religion, or even like politics is a hot issue because people can be angry about that very quickly. But you see, you feel. So I think you will obviously can read people's gestures and nonverbal communication. So you see when it's too much. Okay. So this we identify this kind of openness that you miss that in the Hungarians. And another interesting thing is you mentioned that in the dorm you've been already surrounded by others. So you lived in a multicultural environment. And did you make friends with them, or have you noticed? Have you noticed any difficulty?
Well, sure, I was able to make a lot of friends, to be honest, because I am personally a very extrovert person. I can't sit alone, or if I'm in the university, I can't sit alone. I have to speak with this guy or that lady or something like that. I like to make friends. So, I mean, before I arrived, I was already, I know 4 Syrian guys. We agreed on the Facebook that we will see each other, and we have been together for 1 year, and we travel together, and we cook together. Sometimes we have some parties together. And I was able to make international friends as well, and European friends as well, Hungarian friends as well. But Hungarian people or European people in general, they, let's say, they are friendly, but you have to start. Okay, they will not come to you and say hi. Okay, maybe I discovered that it's part of their culture. Maybe they would think that they are bothering you if they're speaking to you or something like that. But once you start speaking with them, once you start meeting those people, you discover that you share a lot of things with them. And I started saying hi to some Hungarian students, and we became friends, and we started playing together in the playing area, and we started having conversations, and they started to understand the differences between our cultures. They discovered that we like to speak about such things, and yes, we started having conversations about everything. I mean, wherever you go, you have to understand the differences between people. For example, I am a foreigner, so I have to understand the customs and cultural differences between me and between this new society. Okay, even if I don't agree with a specific point, but as a stranger or as an international student, I have to respect the customs and traditions of this new society.
Thank you. Now, what about your friends? Do you usually spend your free time with other Chinese students, or do you have Hungarian friends or other international friends?
I spend time quite a lot with my Chinese friends. Yes, we always gather together and cook, and like go to shops or somewhere to play or have dinner in a restaurant or something, or like some entertainment a lot. Yes, and I also have a friend from Hungary. She's kind of shy, but I started the conversation with her, and then she gets familiar, yeah, with me, and then we usually talk on Messenger or something, and we sometimes we will meet with each other or something. Yeah, yes.
Okay, the way of communication is, I think, important because one thing when you are brave enough to go up to someone and initiate a conversation, but what about just keeping contact with others? So, what kind of platforms do you use for communication here with Hungarians or with other international students?
Okay, so when I was in Budapest, I used WhatsApp, but here I use less. Like I use Messenger or Instagram, Facebook, sometimes email also. Yeah, like this.
And in the Chinese students, you probably use WeChat.
Yeah. We are supposed to
But now I have everything, right?
Yeah.
How about you? What kind of
I think I use the same. Almost everyone around the world uses Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp, but I think Facebook is more common between older people here. WhatsApp is for everyone. I mean, yes, I use those ones.
Yeah.
And LinkedIn for jobs.
For messaging, we usually in Hungary we use Messenger. Facebook Messenger is the most common one, but I realize that most of the European students use WhatsApp and then WeChat for Chinese students. Yeah, so it's all kinds. Right now, you mentioned the word games and playing. So, what do you play and where? So how do you spend your free time?
Well, I'm crazy about cycling, to be honest. I mean, after 1 month of arriving here in Hungary, I started doing some research online to find the best bicycle, and I paid a little bit too much. And imagine that, guys. I traveled to Budapest to buy the bicycle. So I found a very nice and good bicycle online. It was a mountain bicycle, and the guy said that its price is 55 Hungarian friends. I said, yes, okay, just keep it for me. 55,000, and which was a little bit too much. I could have bought, for example, 40,000 or maybe less than that for a bicycle, but I wanted to buy a mountain bicycle because I like driving too fast and going to, I mean, not dangerous places. I mean, like mountains or something like that. But I discovered that there are no mountains here in
Yes,
Szeged.
excellent.
Yeah, I should travel to Pécs one day.
Yes.
So yes, and I like cycling, swimming, and I sometimes I go to the gym, but sometimes I skip because I love food in general. So yes, sometimes I eat junk food, and with my Hungarian friends, we play sometimes video games if we have time, and if we don't have time, we just sit and we drink something.
Thank you. How do you spend your free time here?
Okay, so I will go to some restaurants like from different countries, like Hungarian, Mexico, like Indian or something. Yeah, and I will go to pub. Some pubs, and sometimes maybe once a week I will ask my friend to go shopping or something. Yes, and sometimes I will invite my friends to my house, and then we will play like a movie, yeah, or some series or something. Or I also brought my like games, Chinese specific games here, and so that we can play together here. Yeah.
Thank you. What about food? Because that's very important for everyone. So when you leave home, I mean, I lived abroad, so I know I really miss Hungarian taste. So this is something we all try to make up for somehow. So what's the strategy? Do you cook or have you found a restaurant where the tastes are kind of close to your taste?
Well, I mean, to be honest, food was a challenge for me at the beginning because I came from a country we have a very rich cuisine, to be honest. In the whole Arab world or the Middle East, we have Lebanon, Syria, Jordan, Palestine, and all those countries have a very rich cuisine, to be honest. And I was crazy about Arabic bread, actually. I like bread too much. And when I arrived here, I discovered that I didn't find my favorite food, and I remember that during the first few weeks, I didn't eat too much because I didn't like toast, guys. I'm so sorry, but it's not delicious for me, and I didn't know how to put my food in the toast. And when I try to eat the toast, the food
This was important.
Yes, so it was a challenge for me, I mean, to be honest. But then I discovered that I can buy some Middle Eastern food from a shop here in the city center, and I started cooking. Actually, cooking at home is very affordable, guys. You could, for example, a few days ago, I cooked a meal for 5 people. I paid only 5,000 forints. And we were even more than 5 people, and we all had a great lunch. If you want to eat outside, you will pay maybe 5,000 and you will not, I mean, maybe you have to pay more, to be honest. I don't understand this situation, but if you cook at home, you will save a lot of money, to be honest. And right now I live in a house with a Hungarian guy, and I always cook Syrian food for him, and he is very happy. And he calls me the best chef, but I don't think I'm the best chef, I mean, but I know how to cook, actually.
Have you cooked at home? Or was it something you have to pick up?
I think I used to cook at home because I used to go to the gym, and the diet food. I mean, when you cook diet food, you don't have to add oil or something like that. And my mom didn't used to cook for me because she used to cook for the family, and she said, "Go learn. I don't want to cook food which is not delicious for you. So try to learn." So I asked her. She taught me the basics of cooking. Let's say some main courses in my cuisine. And guys, you have YouTube. You have everything. I mean, if you just do some research, you can ask ChatGPT, Google. You can just go to YouTube, write the name of the meal, and that's it. And practice makes perfect. No more, no less.
Advice, yeah. So we encourage everybody. And have you tried cooking, or did you know?
Always. Yes. There are not that many Chinese restaurants here, so I always try to cook by myself when my friend comes. Yeah, I also search by ChatGPT always, and the result seems really good. And my friend says, delicious." Yeah.
Find proper spices, because very often for my international students, I given this criticism that our shops do not provide those special spices.
Sure. There is a Chinese supermarket here. Yeah, so I always buy some spice or some, I don't know, some specific noodles or Chinese drinks or something there. Yeah.
Very good. So maybe not in a regular Hungarian shop, but in special stores, you can get those very special, we say exotic, from our perspective, exotic spices. Okay. Now, but my question is, have you ever tried Hungarian food?
Yeah, for me, sure. I have a couple of favorite Hungarian meals. Lángos is
Lángos?
yes, is very finom. Finom means delicious.
I tried once and it's like, okay, I can accept it. Yeah.
Okay. Anything else?
I think I tried Goulash. Yes, it was very good, but maybe it has a little bit fat. Maybe it has fat, or maybe my flatmate added too much fat. I don't know, but he said I'll make it very good for you. It was very good actually, but I don't like too much fat, to be honest.
Yeah, maybe you have to give it another try at another place. So
yeah, sure.
Yes, because depending on what kind of meat you use, because traditional Hungarian goulash is made of beef. But many people, especially if you go to canteens or mensa, they make it pork. And then if I cook at home, I usually use turkey. This is a much lighter version.
Yeah, sure.
There you go. Okay. Any other food you tried? Hungarian food?
Yes, I tried a lot. Yeah, I also wanted. Yeah, I also tried goulash soup, but the soup is kind of salty for me. Yeah, and my favorite, I think it's fish soup. Yeah. Szeged. It's very famous in Szeged, and the stew beef.
Or stew?
Stew beef. Yeah, beef stew with galushka. Yeah. That's my favorite. I always order it. Yeah.
or this is
Yeah.
like gnocchi. This is also very popular in Germany and in Austria. Food do not stop at the border. So I would rather say that we have this kind of Central European cuisine. We really have to be careful not to be ethnocentric because food is very often part of our national identity, and we say, oh, this is only us who make it, but it's not true. So sometimes food go beyond borders, so it's regional. Goulash has been produced in many other countries, but the original Hungarian goulash is a soup, not a stew. So, but if you go to Germany or other countries, it's more like a stew. It's different. Okay, but we would recommend then the local Szeged fish soup, which is a must.
Absolutely.
Hungarian bakery, because we think that we have good bakeries, but you said you didn't like Hungarian bread.
No, I liked Hungarian bread, but the toast, I mean,
That's just the toast.
I don't, yes, because toast is everywhere. I mean, there are a lot of Hungarian pastries which are very delicious, but I always forget the names, to be honest. So I go and I choose well, there is a,
Is that something like cinnamon roll?
yes, this one is very delicious. But I think it's a matter of personal preference. I mean, you have to try. Just, I mean, for me, I like to try new things. If I don't like it, it's okay. I mean, it's my viewpoint. So I mean, just to try, and I'm sure that you will like most of them.
Okay. Now, let's just shift a little bit on another cultural difference, which might be a little inconvenient. It's about using the public transportation and the weird Hungarian habit of staring. Have you ever realized that Hungarian people stare on public transportation or in the street? Have you ever noticed that?
Yes, I mean, in my culture, if you stare at someone, it means that you want to fight with him. But here, but people stare at you here for no reason, or maybe I don't know why, but maybe it's a part of the culture. But in my culture, if you stare at someone, especially in that, means is there a problem, bro, or something like that? Means that you want to fight with him or something like that. And if you stare at a lady, it's very rude. I mean, maybe you're trying to flirt with her or something like that. It's super rude. I mean, in my culture, but I already know that it's part of the culture here, and. On transportation, I think it was a little bit weird for me because you don't have to pay money for the driver. You can just buy the monthly pass, or you can just buy the tickets online. So it was technology for me because we didn't have. Sadly, because of the war, the country became very old-fashioned, and we had a gas shortage. That's why we didn't have a lot of buses. So it was a new, not a challenge, I mean, new experience. And guys, you will get used to it. I mean, it's not the end of the world. I mean, you are here to learn. That's it. I mean, okay, you can ask someone else. You can use Google Translate. You can ask, I mean, I used to ask people, young people, and they used to help me. I mean, it's not the end of the world if you in Arabic, we use a proverb that says, "The one who knows how to speak, he will not get lost." I mean, if you can speak, even if you don't speak the language of the country, it's not the end of the world. Maybe in the future you will go to visit other European countries. In some countries, it's difficult to find someone who speaks English. But if you use technology, you almost don't need to speak with anyone. You can pay by your mobile. You can check Google Maps. I mean, yes, you don't have to communicate too much with people.
Thank you. Now, going back to your experience with the staring issue and the public transportation, have you noticed any cultural difference when you use the public transportation in Hungary?
Mm-hmm. We don't usually stare to each other. Yeah, it's a little bit rude for us to stare for a long time. Usually a man to a woman. Yeah, and I think the transportation is quite different from my hometown. We don't have train in my hometown. Yeah, so it's kind of like special and interesting. Yeah, and as for the tickets, yeah, we just we usually have our card, the like transport card. You can pop up in the card, and then you can beep, you can get on it. And here you can just buy the monthly ticket. Yeah, it's quite interesting. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, make sure you validate your ticket, right? Because if you just have the ticket with you and you don't validate it or stamp it or punch it, then you can be fined. Yeah, that's very tricky.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so I brought up this issue of failing because there's a cultural difference. Hungarians, we don't. I actually, as long as my international students told me, I didn't even know that it's there. So I'm so grateful to all of you because that's specifically you, but my students who actually raised this issue because I think we keep longer eye contact on public transportation and in general than in many other parts of the world. And it's just not something aggressive. We are just interested. But there's a certain point when even Hungarians feel it's a little bit too much, so we pretend that we're not staring, but at the same time, we kind of zoom everybody's dress and outfit and behavior. But nowadays it's changing because people are using their phones and looking at their phones all the time, even in public transportation. Another thing of public transportation is that in Hungary it is expected to offer your seat for elderly people or mothers with children. And I think it's a nice gesture, but nowadays, I don't want to blame anyone, but if we look at the phones, we don't even realize that there's someone who is in need for a seat. So that would be, yeah.
Yeah, let me share something funny that happened with me. So here the buses, there are some specific places for, let's say, pregnant women, elderly people, and people with disabilities. And when I started going to the city center on the bus, I was astonished that why some young men don't sit where, and there are some available seats. What's the idea, guys? I mean, why if there's a free seat and I don't sit? What's the idea? And then I discovered that I was stupid because I was sitting in the place for pregnant women or people with disabilities. Then I discovered that I am doing something wrong. And then I started discovering what's written inside of the bus. I discovered that there is a place, even there is a place for people who, for blind people who, which is something really great, which is something, I mean, it is when the government or when the country respects all of its citizens, it's something, I mean, I'm really speechless, but it's something really great. And I discovered that people, for example, if you're standing in the bus and there is a place for even the mother with the kid with the carriage. So, and if a mother wants to get on the bus, people immediately pave the way and they give her the place. Yes, and it was super surprising because in back home, you can't put a carriage on the bus. Yes, so it was super strange for me. And at the same time, I was so happy. Wow, those people respect everyone. Super amazing, I mean.
I mean, at least that's what people like to reach, right? Or achieve. It's
Sure.
not always happening, but yeah. Another thing is which is important in not only on the bus, but in general in the street, the public display of affection, the so-called PDA. This is very many of my students told me that was just shocking for people because in Hungary, PDA is pretty low. It means that couples can walk and kiss in the street, walk hand in hand, kiss and hug, and it just goes very openly. And we just don't pay attention at all. So kind of like we are happy that they are happy and we don't care. But I know this is really, it must be really disturbing for people. So would you share your emotions about that? Because it's more than just an opinion. It is more because it's really an emotional issue. So Laura, have you ever noticed something like that?
Yeah, when I see something, and I think I've seen it too much, so I get a little bit numb. Yeah, so I just ignore it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But when you first saw it, do you remember the feeling? I mean, do you remember the moment when you were actually surprised that, oh,
Yeah. I think, wow, they can kiss and hug everywhere. When I go to the thermal bath, they also kiss and hug or somewhere. I think it's kind of strange, but I just respect it and get used to it.
did you feel bad at the beginning?
No, I just a little bit surprised.
Right.
Yeah.
How about your experience?
Well, well, it's Yes, it was super strange for me at the beginning because back home or in the whole region, people don't kiss each other on the street unless they are like women or men. But even women, I have never seen such a thing on the street. I mean, why would I kiss someone? I mean, even I remember my father when he used to travel and he used to come back, he never kissed my mom on the street. No, that wouldn't happen, to be honest. But when I arrived here, I was in the dorm and heading to the university. I saw a girl kissing her boyfriend on the bus. I said, what's happening? I mean, why? It was super strange for me. Then I discovered it's part of the culture that European people like to share love. I mean, yes, it's something that I wasn't, used to. But then, it's not my job. It's their own life, and it's something strange in the beginning. But now I don't mind. Yeah, sure.
Right? If you go to another country, like when I traveled to Muslim country, when I covered my shoulders, so I was not being
This is the idea.
Single focus.
Sure.
I think that's the key in this peacemaking, right?
Sure.
Avoiding conflicts. Okay, and then like just going on with these a little bit inconvenient or unusual topics like practicing religion, because we have many students who practice their religion, and I wonder if you have any experiences with that, or you'd like to share anything. You don't have to, but you.
Regarding religions, I think it's a controversial issue here in Europe, to be honest, because people became less and less religious. But at the same time, if you follow a specific religion, I think you have the freedom to practice this religion unless you don't bother anyone else. For example, me personally, I'm Muslim, and I pray. And I remember something that happened with me, which was super great, to be honest. It was during Ramadan. Most of you are familiar with Ramadan. It's a month where Muslims fast. They stop eating or drinking for a specific period of the day. And we were attending a lecture, and after this lecture, we need to break our fast. We need to go to start eating after fasting for a long period of time. And we need to do a specific prayer, and if we don't do it right now, we will miss it. So, we decided to do the prayer in a place where we don't bother anyone else. And we decided to do it downstairs, just near where people park their bicycles. Before we start doing the prayer, and a lady entered, and she said, "Hi guys, if you would like, what are you doing?" We said that we want to pray. She said, "If you would like, you can come to my office and pray upstairs." We said, "Thank you so much, but we don't want to bother anyone." We finished praying, and when we went upstairs, we discovered that this lady is the head of this place. She was a very important person, and I was super happy because she respected our customs and our beliefs. So I think it's not a problem at all. As long as I mentioned that earlier, and I would like to mention it one more time. As long as if you respect the community that you live in and the customs, no one would tell you. No one has the power over you to tell you that you can do this or you can't do that. As long as you respect yourself, you can practice your religion. But it's better to ask, can I do something here if I don't bother anyone? And people in general don't mind that, because if you follow a specific religion, it's not my job, or you're not bothering me, or you're not doing something bad for me, because it's your own life. And in Arabic, we have a very good proverb that says, "Worship a stone if you wish, but don't throw it at me." Worship a stone if you wish, but don't throw it at me. I have friends who are Muslim, Jews, Christians, and agnostic. Some people who don't follow any specific religion. Some people are atheists. We all respect each other. Sometimes we have some conversations about religions, and sometimes we learn from each other, because every one of us has at a specific point some cliches and some wrong information about other cultures. But when you meet people, you discover that, oh, this idea was not good, this idea was wrong. And I think for all religions, for Muslims, there is a mosque you can go to pray 5 times a day. There are churches everywhere for Christians. And I mean, for religions, I mean, you can perform your religion everywhere. I mean, there's a story about two Muslim guys wanted to pray, and they asked the nuns in a church, they asked her, can we pray here? She said, purify your heart and pray everywhere.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing and being so honest. I think it would help a lot of people. Yes, in Hungary, yeah, as you say that Europe is quite secular as now. We have churches, we have Christian churches in Szeged and also synagogues and praying house for Muslim denominations and also not only Catholic but also like many Protestant churches are open. And even those who follow that want to follow the services in English, that's also very often available. Okay, I have two more questions before we finish. One is about Hungarian language. So whether you, you know that you were a Hungarian language student, but why did you learn? Why did you start learning Hungarian? Why Hungarian?
So actually, when I graduated from my high school, I want to choose like languages for my major, and Hungarian is one of these, and I get chosen and I study.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Do you find it difficult?
Actually, from the beginning, no. Yeah, from the beginning, it was easy for me at the beginning, but after I study further, and I think it's kind of hard to get all the informations. Yeah.
Depending on who your teachers are, right? Books you use and backgrounds, there's a lot of factors which come into play, depending on how motivated you are, what you want to do, and reach what level you want to reach.
Yes.
Have you tried Hungarian?
Yeah, sure. Since I'm a scholarship awardee, I had 2 courses of Hungarian language to speakers of other languages. And I did my best, to be honest, to learn at least the basics. But sadly, after I finished those courses, I forgot most of the information. But I'm lucky because I live with a Hungarian guy and we always try to share. I teach him English. Actually, I teach him English and he teaches me Hungarian. And I was able to learn a lot of, I mean, my problem is I know a lot of vocabulary, but grammar, not really. So when I speak, sometimes I put the verb before the adverb or before the subject, but people understand me. And Hungarian people, when you tell them that, when you speak with them a few words in Hungarian, they are surprised and they say, "Wow, you understand Hungarian?" And they start speaking with you in Hungarian, and you don't understand. My neighbor does this with me always. When she sees me downstairs, she starts speaking with me, and I always tell her, "Bocsi, nem beszélek magyarul, egy kicsit." And she says, "No, you're speaking right now. You said no, nem beszélek magyarul. You're speaking right now."
Honestly, I think Hungarian language is pretty hard for international students, so we do not expect anyone to know Hungarian. So even if you speak just a few words, then Hungarians would melt and they say, "Wow, how nice!" And they were so grateful. So instead of trying really hard and smile and do different gestures for me, just say the words and they will be, they wrong.
Can I share one more thing? Yeah, I think getting a phone call in Hungarian is also very hard. When I get at the beginning of the phone, all I hear was something like the shake, and about? I don't understand. I always ask them to slow down, then I can understand what they are saying. Yeah.
Yeah. Making a phone call in foreign language is really hard. Yeah. So that people prefer this messaging and this makes life a little bit easier. However, in Hungarian, we have those accents, which are actually not accent, but diacritical marks, so don't leave them out because they can change the meaning of the word very often. Okay. And then finally, what about Hungarian culture? Have you had the chance to immerse yourself? Like, have you watched Hungarian movies or like in Szeged there are lots of opportunities for concerts, like jazz, or maybe folk dance houses, or the Szeged Contemporary Ballet is excellent, or just channeling. So, what was your favorite programs during your the month here?
I like to go to the museum. Yes, because there are so many, like the most of the Hungarian culture that I can encounter. So, and I also like to travel somewhere else to, for example, to go to Balaton and to go to the thermal bath. It's also very interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, the Balaton is really just for those who that I've never heard of that. It's still September, so it's the lake is a little warm to swim. Yeah, for the museum, there are a few in Szeged, but also in Budapest and Lángos, so it takes only 2.5 hours to get to Budapest. So if you're not free, you can more back home and you go in there. Otherwise, your experience.
Well, just like what Laura said, and because I live with a Hungarian guy, we became friends, not only flatmates, and I started getting invitations from his friends as well. So I started meeting Hungarian people, and I started going to visit them in their houses, having meals, doing barbecue together, and I also, whenever the university announces for a trip for the neighboring cities or for Budapest, I always go, and I think it's really great as international students to participate in such events, because it's an opportunity for you to go to somewhere else, because maybe it will be a little bit difficult for you to travel on your own because you will need to pay too much money, but the university covers almost all the expenses, even they pay for the transportation. So I think have fun. I mean, at least you're gonna stay here for 2 semesters, 1 year, 2 years. So don't stay only in Szeged. I mean, go. You have time, guys. You have time to study and to have fun, and you have time to study and enjoy at the same time. So travel.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you very much for your valuable comments and stories. And now I turn to the audience. If you'd like to ask anything or if you have any questions to our guests or to me about Hungarian life in Szeged. I know it's not easy, so don't feel bad.
Don't be shy, guys.
Yes, please.
Yeah, I'm a master's student, new freshman, just really start my course at the end of September during 4 meetings. So, as a Stipendium government's scholarship holder, there's some requirements for grades to take, courses. So, while I took my courses, it was around, including the lab, 6 or 7 courses for these. So, as you were saying, studying abroad or Europe is a very good fun. You can travel, you can spend time with your friends and so many things. But, back in our home country, if we take subject like 5, 6, 7, it's too hard to, catch give you a minimum mark or good mark. So how do you collaborate with the education and travel, how is this or first the culture they study, what do you feel? So and combine it, that goes well for you, or what do you feel, you guys?
So, how do you combine, how to create the balance between your studies and also get to know Hungary a little bit and then have free time? How do you manage that?
Well, it depends on your specialization and on your schedule, to be honest. Well, maybe it will be different from a faculty to another faculty. But as I said, if you study on time, believe me, you will have time for everything if you study on time. And actually, some doctors and lecturers are super cooperating. For example, I had a couple of courses which you don't have to take a written exam at all. You have an oral exam presentation, or you just need to do a couple of tasks during the semester, and that's it. And at the end, maybe the professor will ask you a few questions, and that's it. So you will save too much time, and there are a lot of holidays and weekends where you can invest your time, and maybe your schedule, you will have one day free during the week, so you can travel. And by the train, it's very easy. You can travel by airplanes. If you book your tickets early, you can. For example, I traveled to Austria, I've been to Germany 3 times, and I traveled around to the neighboring countries as well. It's not, I mean, it's not difficult if you organize your time. But I'm a master's degree student. Maybe PhD students don't have a lot of time, but for me, I think it's 100% possible.
And it's really up to the majors, and then you can figure out your schedule next week. And also the professors will give you this very detailed course description with all the assignments, and so you have to meet the deadlines or ask for extension, and always talk to your professor. But if you plan ahead, I think it's manageable. What do you think?
Yeah, I think even if you go to some Hungarian cities, it's easy to go within one day. Yeah, so it's very easy to schedule. And even a weekend, you can also go abroad, I think. Yeah.
And then maybe the fall break, spring break, like the Christmas time, we have 2 weeks off. So yeah, so you can figure it out, and then just schedule your exams in a way that you can save some time for travels or shorter trips. Okay, any other questions? If not, then the last piece of information I'd like to share with you that you can follow us on SZTE, so University of Szeged acronym in English, in Hungarian abbreviation, and STE, Alma Mater Facebook site, and the posts are in English. And then also you can register for uniszegedalumni.com for services, for events, and then also there will be some advertisements for mentor programs, volunteer opportunities, so all kinds of things going on. So thank you for coming, and we wish you a very successful and happy semester.
Thank you, guys.
You guys.